Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1364, which was broadcast from Long Island, New York on July 15th, 2019. It was Nassau Coliseum, I believe. I was not there. I kind of wish I had been there, but it was still really fun to watch. I watched it entirely at the Atlanta airport because I landed right after the show started. So I tuned in. Luckily, they were still doing the recap of the ending events of Sunday night. And so I watched the opening segment with subtitles. So it probably wasn't as fun as it would have been without the subtitles. But I'm pretty excited for what's to come with Brock Lesnar being the champion and this 10-man battle royal to determine Brock's challenger. Although, well, we'll get to that in just a minute. Before I move on to the next segment, my second day of travel. So since the last episode, I headed to the airport, and the flight from Philadelphia to Atlanta was no problem at all. But then my second flight was delayed a lot. And then it was delayed a lot again. Well, it wasn't delayed a lot. Overall, it was delayed a lot. It was delayed by like 45 minutes and then another 45 minutes. So a total of an hour and a half. Not that big of a deal. But it was enough to make me really tired. But it also made it so that I could just leisurely watch all of Raw since I landed right after it started. And then my second flight wasn't until way after it, and it was like an hour and a half after the show ended. So yeah, I got to watch all of it. I enjoyed the entire show. There were a couple of things I watched with subtitles because I was going to get some food and stuff like that. Like the Miz and Dolph Ziggler segment, I want to go back and watch that in its entirety because I watched it with subtitles and I could tell that that's something that I want to see. I want to actually hear them and get the back and forth in real time and not the delayed the delayed captioning because it's usually like 2 or 3 seconds behind. So yeah, but I've talked about that a few times before. But yeah, the flight back, the flight from Atlanta to Denver, was pretty much fine. It was, it was really great. It was actually pretty great. It was more than fine. I flew on Delta, which I don't really fly on Delta often at all, like maybe once every 5 years at this point. The last time I flew Delta, I think, was probably 5 years ago. And the last time before that, probably 5 years before that. I don't know. But, and those might be the only 2 times I've ever flown Delta. But I ended up in the third row of the exit seats, which on this particular airplane, I also somehow got a window seat, which was amazing. And that window seat, the door closest to that exit, in that exit row, there isn't a seat there. So it's just empty space all the way until the next row after that. So I had plentiful leg room, and then also somehow there was nobody in the seat next to me. So it was pretty much fantastic as far as not having to be next to anybody. And then there's plenty of bin space. So my backpack went up there, since otherwise I have to be in like the seat that's 2 seats in front of me. That's kind of weird. And the flight went well. I fell asleep for 10 minutes at a time, like 2 or 3 times. But otherwise, I was playing lots of Switch, lots of Defense Grid. Oh my God, I forgot that I had Defense Grid 2 on Nintendo Switch. I love that game so much. It's awesome. And if you don't have it yet, go get it on Nintendo Switch. It's a perfect game for the Nintendo Switch. It's a perfect game in general. But go get Defense Grid. I'm too excited about Defense Grid. It's causing me respiratory distress. But anyway, unfortunately my battery ran out, and I didn't want to get up to get the battery out of my backpack, which was in the bin. But that was fine. Unfortunately, on this trip, I lost my earbuds, my Bluetooth earbuds, so I couldn't listen to anything on my phone. But I did have my adapter for my iPad. Since it's an iPad, the newest iPad Pro, it has a USB-C adapter, not a USB Lightning adapter. So that it was fine. It worked out. I was listening to the audio of the games on the Switch because I did have my pair of wired earbuds with me, so it all worked out. But then once I landed, I thought it was going to be a breeze because I parked at the shuttle parking. I just jump on the shuttle and get over there, but I feel like I was waiting for the shuttle for like 45 minutes. This was at like 2 a.m. I finally got back home by about 3 o'clock. Couldn't fall asleep. I think I finally fell asleep around 4 or so. And so I am still pretty wiped out. But it was absolutely worth it because Extreme Rules was awesome. And I got to watch all of Raw as it aired, so that was great too. I have not watched Table for 3 yet. And I also went to the zoo. I don't think I mentioned that. I went to the Philadelphia. Yes, I did mention that. The Philadelphia Zoo. And that was really fun. Although if I had thought about it, I would have brought sunblock, and then I would have been a little bit less stressed out whenever I was outside. I would be like, oh, fine. I probably should have still been very wary of sun exposure, even if I did have sunblock on. But I feel like I did a pretty good job of staying in the shade. I don't think I got burnt at all. I had already gotten a little bit of prep from earlier in the week doing drum corps stuff that I got a little bit of sun earlier, so I've got a little bit of a tan going to help combat the. Even if you're tanned, you should still use sunblock. I'm playing it off like it was better because I'm a little bit tan. It's still bad. Use sunblock. Use sunblock all the time if you're going to be outside. Not just in the summer, just all the time. If you're going to be outside for more than a couple of minutes, use sunblock. That's my advisement right there. All right, so let's get back to Monday Night Raw. We had Ricochet and the Usos face off against Robert Roode and the Revival in a 2-3 falls match. They were tied like 1-1. The Revival got the second fall, I believe. But then Ricochet grabbed the... I think Ricochet got the final fall. But then the Club arrives, beats the crap out of them. There's a big old brawl, and the story continues there. The friction between the Club and Ricochet. And the Usos now. The Viking Raiders destroyed some local fellas. That was kind of fun. Backstage, Drew McIntyre comes up to Cedric. He wants a piece of Cedric from what he did last week. And he says, "I'm going to disembowel you." Damn it, that was a bad impression. I'm going to decimate you. I'm going to disembowel you. Just joking, buddy. That's illegal. And but really, I'm going to eviscerate you. Which that's it's not really that much different from disemboweling somebody. But I guess you could eviscerate someone without actually murdering them. But anyway, so then we had Drew McIntyre versus Cedric Alexander, and Cedric won via roll-up, and that was super awesome for Cedric. Up next, we had Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Joe won, and then continued to attack Balor afterwards, but then Finn fought back. Oh, that was hard to say. But Finn fought back. But Finn fought back. And as he stood tall after hitting the coup de grace on Joe, his music was playing, and then it wound down, and the lights shut off, and the Fiend appeared and hit. I think he hit him with the Sister Abigail there. So Bray Wyatt finally makes his in-ring debut. Oh, and he's going after Finn Balor. And are we gonna get? I hope we get the Fiend versus. I hope he wrestles fully in that mask, and we get the Fiend versus the Demon, and the whole match is like with that kind of lighting. How cool would that be? That would be like so different from anything else. And it'd be way different from his Randy Orton match at WrestleMania 34. It'd be way, way different from that. But no, 33, sorry. Or 32? 33. 30, with the projections of the bugs and stuff. I'm excited. Rumor has it that after SummerSlam, Finn Balor will be taking a couple of months off, which I think everybody should be able to do if they want to. And I think that's if it's out, he feels like he needs a break. He wants to recharge. That's awesome for him. And I hope that anybody who wants to do that is able to do that and come back raring to go. And if they work that into the story, I think that's plenty of time for them to work this story with Bray Wyatt. And it could be really, really cool. Using time away to build up more suspense. Absence makes hearts go. Oh my God. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Although Finn kind of was absent for the last couple of months already. Anyway, up next we had Drake Maverick check into his hotel with his wife, and R-Truth appears with a ref on the prowl. He asks the front desk guy to search for Hornswoggle, spelled Horn Swoggle, lowercase h. Hotel databases are not, as far as I know, at least the one I'm familiar with, it's not case sensitive. Or maybe it is. I just never thought of not capitalizing. Anyway, that lowercase h that killed me. We got some Street Profits hype, which is great. I'm loving their presence on the show. Like they're just there to hype everything up and to be a lot of fun, and I like that. Then we had Lucha God damn it, Lucha House Party, I'm losing it a little bit. I just went to the store. I went to Home Depot, to get some materials to build displays for my retail stuff, for my convention booths, and I got all the materials there, but they didn't have the tool I need a drill press. I guess I don't need it, but I wanted to get one so that I could make stuff really accurately and make it really consistent, because I may be making more for other people of the thing that I'm going to be trying to make here in the next couple of days. So I had to go to a different Home Depot, and that added like another hour to get over there, and then I stopped to get some more food and stuff like that. So yeah. I only have 20 minutes until SmackDown starts. So let me get a move on here. So I'm a little bit more wiped out. I got some more. I got sleep and then some more sleep, but I'm still pretty exhausted, and I've got some type of respiratory thing going on, as I mentioned. But anyway, Lucha House Party versus the Club. During this match, Ricochet attacked. The match gets restarted after commercial, after everything is under control. And then AJ wins via calf crusher to Kalisto, I believe it was. And he continues holding on to it. And then Ricochet comes out and makes the save for Lucha House Party and all that. No, did he come out and make the save for... I don't remember. This might have been one of the times when I started to drift off to go get some food or something. Then we had a fatal four-way match to determine who will be Becky's next challenger. We had Alexa Bliss versus Carmella versus Naomi versus Natalya. Renee was saying something, and Corey was like, "Yeah, I just said that," and then. Or Renee was like, I'm sorry, I was distracted by the thing you were talking about before, because they were saying something about something that Natalya did. I don't remember, but But then Corey goes, "Shut up, Byron," and Renee, very almost off mic, just calls him a dick. And that was really, really funny. But anyway, Becky Lynch arrives to watch the match. We have Alexa Bliss eliminate Carmella, right? Not right off the bat, but that's the first elimination. Then Natalya eliminated Naomi. Nikki tries to get everybody cheering for Alexa because it's down to Alexa and Natalya. But then Natalya wins via sharpshooter. And then there's a back and forth between Natalya and Becky where Natalya promised to pull a horseshoe out of Becky's ass. I don't know what that means. Is that a horsewoman thing? Why would she have a horse? Why would a horseshoe be in her? I don't know. What? And the thing was that Natalya was like saying like how she's friends with Becky and that she respects her and all that. But then Becky turns that around and is like, "Oh, if you think you're facing a friend, blah, 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 blah." And then Natalya is like, "Well, bitch." So, yeah, I think Natalya is the women's division's big show that she turns on a dime, without it's like a switch that there doesn't really need to be much motivation at all for it. But anyway, that's her match for SummerSlam. Becky Lynch versus Natalya. I don't know. I really wish it was Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Like that would save the Raw Women's Division. Like that, just that alone. Sasha Banks being back would save the Raw Women's Division. Come on. Ugh. I don't know. I miss Ronda. Then we have the Miz TV with Dolph Ziggler as guest. So the Miz and Ziggler feud is renewed. I did not watch, like I said, I did not watch this with sound on. I really want to go back and watch it because it seemed like it's some pretty cool stuff. Like Dolph Ziggler was like, "Yeah, that was really embarrassing that I got beat so fast. It was like Goldberg bad." I thought that was great. But yeah, I do want to go back and watch that. And then we have the 10-man Battle Royal, the multi-brand or the cross-brand Battle Royal. If it was really cross-brand, they should have someone from NXT in there. That would make it even more exciting. But anyway, I'm just going to go through the eliminations. We had Lashley eliminate Cesaro. Oh, this entire time, man, Cesaro eliminated first. I was rooting for him. After Natalya won, I thought, okay, now who's Canadian in this Battle Royal? It's Sami Zayn is in there. I'm going to root for him. So Bobby Lashley eliminates Cesaro. During this whole match, Brock Lesnar is at the top of the stage watching. Braun Strowman eliminated Bobby Lashley. Then Sami Zayn eliminated Big E after he was hit by an RKO. But then Randy eliminates Sami Zayn and then hits an RKO on Roman. Baron Corbin eliminated Rey Mysterio. Then Seth Rollins eliminated Baron Corbin. Then Rollins eliminated both Strowman and Roman Reigns as they were going back and forth there on the apron or at the ropes, on the other side of the ropes, I think it was. And so then we came down to Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton. And honestly, I was really rooting for Randy Orton to win. We saw Randy versus Brock at SummerSlam 3 years ago, I think is 2016. We saw that 3 years ago. Why not see that again and see how crazy Randy rightfully has a bone to pick with Brock Lesnar for that match. I seem absolutely going insane on Brock Lesnar and just beating the living crap out of him. And I would have loved to see that. But I guess Seth also has reason to do the same. But man, Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton, I hope we get to see that one more time at some point. But anyway, Seth Rollins, he will face Brock Lesnar, and there we at SummerSlam, and there we go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Tonight on SmackDown, we're gonna have the Kabuki Warriors finally challenge the Iconics for the tag team championships. They've got to win. Hopefully they win. But if they don't win, hopefully that they will have another championship match at SummerSlam. I wouldn't mind it if that does happen. But maybe it'll be like a disqualification of some kind, and so there's reason to have that match again. Or even if it's like a triple threat. Mandy and Sonya I could see getting involved, and then it ends up being a triple threat. I would be totally fine with that. Being a triple threat match at SummerSlam. But as long as it needs to be a tornado triple threat match or an elimination match to make it a little bit different than the WrestleMania match. Yeah. Even if it was if it was 4 tag teams, if it's an elimination match, I'm all for that. And then there's supposed to be some kind of career-altering announcement from Daniel Bryan. I hope it's not a bad thing, but they're talking about it. They're posting about it. They're hyping that up for tonight's episode. So I'm really curious what's going to happen there. Probably by the time you have listened to this part of the episode, you're already watching SmackDown, because it's only 10 minutes until it starts. And this episode is a lot longer than 10 minutes, so it would be impossible to listen to this entire thing before watching live. But so you may already know the answers to a lot of these questions. But let me know, anyway, what you thought of this week's Monday Night Raw by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all of the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.